player as cool as Ravi Jadeja. He's soaking in the atmosphere here. He was the outstanding performer for India at that initial game that India played. Hello and welcome to this special show called Desert Storm. We're coming to you live from Dubai. We will soon be joined by our two experts in Sunny Gavaskar and Pragyan Oja, and we'll try and analyze the game. But at the moment, I'm joined by a few Indian fans. I'll only say a couple of Indian fans because this guy here is not just an Indian fan. He's small in size but a big expert. As they say, chota packet, bada dhamaka. His name is Arjun. He's going to give all of us a run for our money as far as analysis are concerned. Arjun, tell me, what can one expect from the game today?
You know, today's game is a...
Good, relax. That's okay. That's okay. He's a bit nervous. That's all right. That's all right. But we'll get Arjun to come and speak to us a little later. It's very, very hot in Dubai. I've got another fan with me. India versus Hong Kong. India-Pakistan was the big game, but are you nervous about this one?
No, not really nervous. I think it should be a one-sided affair, but you can't take Hong Kong lightly. We saw in the last Asia Cup as well, Hong Kong did give India a scare. So I feel that India need to play some good cricket. The top order needs to fire. This is the best time to get runs under your belt. And KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli will need to feast big today. I think that's going to be the goal for India from that side.
Yeah. So that's what a few things that India has to look at, especially get a lot of runs. We also spoke to Harbhajan Singh earlier in the day, and we helped him, we got him to analyze the game for us. So let's listen in to what Harbhajan had to say. We're building up to that game, India versus Hong Kong. Harbhajan Singh with us. Harbhajan, firstly, on paper it looks like an uneven contest, but would you dare to call it a walkover?
No, it's not going to be a walkover, and I don't want to repeat this word walkover because I
got into trouble.
Used this word like 10 months back against Pakistan, and it was kind of embarrassing later on. Everyone was after me. We lost that game, and I don't want to say that it'll be a walkover, but yes. It'll be an easy game comparatively. The game was against Pakistan, but yes, still India need to go out there and play the best cricket they are known for. They have to play and get the right result. And of course, this is an opportunity for someone like Rahul and Rohit and Virat to spend time in the middle and get their batting form back and play maximum sort of balls. This is the kind of a best sort of practice. No matter how much time you spend in the nets, that's never enough. But when you score runs in the middle, it doesn't matter whether it comes against Hong Kong or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. It's still, those runs give you a lot of confidence. It's the runs or the wickets gives you confidence. So great opportunity for these top three from India to get their groove.
Also another good opportunity, because you were talking to Ravindra Jadeja the other day and he said it was a bit of a two-pace, double-pace wicket. Good chance for the Indian team to get used to the conditions, because future you'll have some stronger matches.
Of course, Jaddu was talking about the pitch wasn't that easy to bat on. It was, uneven kind of a bounce. Few balls were gripping a bit. Even the ball when Jaddu got out, actually that was a, arm ball, but it spun. And he got bowled. So Jaddu was right. If these are the conditions where the bounce is uneven, you have to just get used to of these conditions and play the best cricket and adopt to those conditions, because you'll be playing Afghanistan. They are, I believe they are a very, very good side. Then you'll be playing against Pakistan again. So get used to of these conditions as much as you can and make the most of it.
Finally, you reckon India has any case to make any changes to the team, or you reckon no, the same team is best?
I don't think any sort of changes we will get to see, and there's no need to it. India have won a brilliant game against Pakistan, and knowing Rahul, I don't think he'll change anyone unless someone is injured or dehydrated, because the conditions are very, very hot. So I don't see any changes happening in next few games at least.
Right, also joining us on the show, two experts in Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Oja. Saima, let me start with you. At the moment, I'm coming to you live from the Dubai Stadium. Very different scenes to what we saw just a few days ago when India were taking on Pakistan. This entire area was jam-packed with fans. Not too many fans. Yes, there are trickling in at the moment, but not too many fans turning in. But should the Indian fans or the Indian team take a risk of taking Hong Kong lightly?
No, not at all. Not at all. But before that, I'd like to wish all the viewers a happy Ganesh Chaturthi. May Lord Ganesha bless you always, and bless Indian cricket always. And I do believe that we should be taking any team lightly, because this is the shortest format of the game, where fortunes can change in a jiffy, and therefore it's very important, to go with your best team. Not to take anything lightly. Maybe once you qualify, maybe you can, after that, you can look at maybe giving some of the reserve players an opportunity. But right now, I think they've got to go full on and make sure that it's a big win over Hong Kong.
Okay, a big win versus Hong Kong. Remember, the format of this tournament is such that you have to win every game. Just, for Pakistan as well, it'll be a must-win game when they take on Hong Kong. Pragyan, to you, just looking at this Hong Kong side, they've been in good form. They've been undefeated in the qualifiers, albeit that they were playing much weaker sides compared to India. They played the like of Kuwait, UAE and Singapore, but have been undefeated. I was also looking at this entire setup of the Hong Kong team. For the last 6-8 months, they've been on the road playing a lot of T20 cricket. So clearly the team has come very prepared, the Hong Kong team here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the way you should go about. You know that you're not the favorites. So when things are against you, what best you can do? You go out, play a lot of tournaments. That's how you get confidence, and that's how you build your team. When you talk about India and Hong Kong, definitely India is the favorites. But saying that, what as a team member of Hong Kong you can do? You prepare yourself really well, give your best. That's what you can do. They have done really well against UAE. Their bowlers, if you see Ishan Khan and all, they've taken wickets, and few other batsmen, they have got runs. That is what you can do. So they're well prepared, and just go out and express yourself. That's the best you can do as a team who is less favored.
Okay, that's right. The team has come very prepared, the Hong Kong team. A reminder again, and I keep harping about that the last Asia Cup in 2018, it was a 50-over format, and at that time, Hong Kong really ran India very close, fell short of that big target of 285 by just 20-odd runs. What about you? You're here. Is it because you didn't get tickets for India, Pakistan, or you genuinely are a cricket fan and want to watch India play every game?
So you want India to hit the maximum number of sixes, right? So today is the opportunity for Kohli to get back in form. Today is the opportunity for Rohit to hit another 50. So that's what we are looking for. I hope we win the toss. I hope we bat first. And if that's the case, let's hit a 200 plus score. Let's have our team in form. Let's see a few fireworks from hopefully Pant as well. And that's the idea.
Arjun, young Arjun is there. Are you feeling better now, Arjun?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. The heat really got to Arjun. Tell us now, what are you looking forward to in the game today?
I'm looking forward to the way India plays. I'm hoping that a few players get back in form, such as Virat Kohli and Rahul. And I really want the bowling lineup to be replaced with young, talented players.
The bowling lineup to be replaced with young talented player. That's what Arjun is saying. He's going to give me a run for my money when he grows up, just 10 years of age, and is a sharp cricketing brain. I'll take that question to the two experts that join us in Sunny Gavaskar and Pragyan Oja. Pragyan, I'll start with you on this one. You see any reason for India to make any sort of changes in this game? Because we heard from Rohit Sharma before the game, before this tournament started, he said, listen, we want to experiment. We'll continue experimenting throughout this tournament. So if they really want to try on something, no better opportunity than this Hong Kong game?
I don't think they will make any changes, because this is a game where you want your team to get that rhythm back. If you see, as Sunny sir was saying in the previous game, that top three, they have to get their runs, and then you're blessed that your middle order is doing really well. Then the most important thing in UAE, if you see, our spinners have not done that well. They've not picked up wickets. Last game also, both our spinners didn't get wickets. So when your team is trying to settle down, so what the best you can do is you give them that game time, and to do that, let the same team play. And I think this is the second game. I personally feel it won't be right to make changes because now the countdown has begun to the World Cup. So every game is important. So you have to think about the bigger picture. Let the same team settle down. I think very less changes unless it's forced. You just continue playing the same team, which you're thinking is going to be your main team in the next few weeks.
Sahiba, your thoughts? Should India look at making a few changes? If they want to try a few things, this probably might be the best opportunity because going forward, you're going to have tough encounters.
That's true, but I think this is the time to win big, and like I said, maybe once you've definitely qualified, then maybe look to give some of the reserve players an opportunity. This is the time to have the best possible team. Maybe give the two spinners more of an opportunity. Jadeja didn't bowl his quota of overs, so maybe give him a little bit of a spell. Obviously, depending on the situation of the game. But no, I don't think the time for experiments is here at the moment.
Okay, one man who's been really on fire here in this tournament has been Hardik Pandya. He was a standout performer in that game versus Pakistan, and he's that one X factor that the Indian team would be looking at to be performing well. This is what Hardik had to say about his match, man of the match performance in the game versus Pakistan. Let's listen in.
4 years down the line, even मैं खुद को नहीं पता. I was just a kid who was trying to just learn new part of life, new part of the sport. But I always, had that in me that, how can I get better? And from there, obviously the kind of mindset. There was one very big person who played a big role was Mahi, where whenever he was there, not that I asked him a lot of things, but whenever the opportunity got, I used to observe him and, especially learn things about in the sport, not as particular about life, but for the sport. The kind of mindset he had and the kind of knowledge and the kind of just the observation of the sport was something tremendous, and I think that has somehow reflected on my personality as well in the field. And responsibility wise, yes, I was always someone who wanted responsibility because when you own your things, it kind of becomes more personal to you. So for me, it was always about that kind of owning my mistake, at the same point of time, taking those chances, maybe failing and learning, because that experience no one can teach you, nor your closest aide, nor your idol, or nor to some extent not even Mahi Bhai when he was around it. Some failures are meant to be you experience it and then you learn it. And because of that, I think I started understanding that what are the roles and what are the roles I'm good at, and how I can get better at that. And yes, it just added more fruits to my sport.
Oh, we're coming to you live on this special program titled Desert Storm from the Dubai International Stadium, which you can see right behind me, the venue of India's second game at this Asia Cup. They're up against the team that has qualified from the qualifiers in Hong Kong. Not too many minutes to go before we get to the toss, and then we'll get to know the playing 11. Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Ojha still with us on the show. Saibhai, we heard from Hardik Pandya, and the one man that found a lot of mention in that entire interaction was MS Dhoni, where Hardik was pointing out how much he's picked up from someone that he's played for a very long time, that is MS Dhoni. Did you see some, or are you beginning to see some shades of MS Dhoni, especially in the way Hardik Pandya has been approaching these chases? We saw that in the IPL, we're seeing it now with the Indian team, that sort of calculator that MS Dhoni used to have, calculating in his brain how or when to attack. Are you seeing shades of that in Hardik Pandya, the batsman, now?
Certainly. The way he finished the game the other day with that bottom hand, flick over long on, that is shades of MST, because MST used to play these, big bottom-handed sixes over long on and mid-wicket. And that's exactly what Hardik did. So now we've got another great finisher in the Indian ranks. There was one, of course, the one and only MST. who could finish matches, who could take 15 runs in the over. Yeah, 15 runs in the over without a problem in the last over. And I think Hardik Pandya is capable of doing the same.
Pragyan, one other thing Hardik talks about is one picking up from man he admires in MS Dhoni. But he said, listen, I've played with a lot of great players. So there are little things that you see in these great players. You try and observe, and then you pick the best out of them and try to inculcate that in your game. Are these all signs of a great player in the making? Picking up the right things from the right players?
I think it's the clarity that he's got now. When you listen to him, he says that he knows that what he needs to do, and he has learned from his failure. That clarity is brilliant. If you talk to some of the great cricketers, they would say the same thing. The clarity. I think that is what has made a lot of difference in his career. I think he's trying to be that leader, even if when he was not the captain. He was trying to think how he can contribute, how he can do well. So I think once you think about your game and try and read, that really helps you, and that has really done wonders for him. So I think it's a clarity which clearly shows that the result that he's getting.
So that brings me to the next question, Pragyan. Because Hardik Pandya has been in fine form, doesn't really need a lot of game time because we know what he can do with a bat. There is also a school of thought that you must look after Hardik Pandya, the bowler, and ensure that he doesn't bowl in every game. If you're going to do that, if he's not going to be bowling in this particular encounter, do you think then there is a case to probably rest him in this case, in this game versus Hong Kong? If he's not going to be bowling, batting we know what he offers with the bat. So maybe if you then have Hardik out, you could give a chance to another all-rounder, maybe a Deepak Huda, maybe a Ravichandran Ashwin. Is that something that the Indian team can think about?
I think we're thinking too ahead of what exactly we are in right now. I think he's in a great form. His clarity is superb. He's fit. He's just wanting to go out in the middle and really do the talking with the bat and the ball and with the fielding, obviously. So just let him go and express himself. Let's not think ahead. The problem is once we think ahead, then maybe we'll restrict ourselves. So let him just be in the present and just let him go and express himself. That's what I feel. Let him do that. Let's not think if this game we can rest him to protect him. Because a brilliant cricketer with great form, just let him play how much of a matches he can play. Let him just go out and just enjoy his cricket.
Saima, we spoke to you earlier about in terms of any changes you'd like to see India make, and you said no, you'd like to see the same team. There's just one other factor. We've seen a lot of heat in Dubai. We saw a few fast bowlers cramp up. Also, in the game that happened yesterday, the spinners were very, very effective. Against Minnows, there is a school of thought that, another leggy Ravi Bishnoi or because they've got a few left-handers in Afghanistan, maybe a Ravichandran Ashwin in an off-spinner, maybe rest one of the three fast bowlers that you have, play an extra spinner. Is that something that the Indian team can think about?
Well, there were a couple of days break, so I think that's good enough. Whatever the weather conditions are, as far as the bowlers are concerned, they're bowling 4 overs and not 4 overs at a stretch. And, just about everybody, at best, somebody bowls 3 overs and then maybe another over. So if you're going to cramp up after bowling 4 overs, I mean, that is, that is a question mark against your fitness. Yes, I know it's an off season for most and they're coming from an off season, but still, I think when you're talking about fitness, if you're bowling 14 overs, 15 overs, and then you cramp up 10 overs at a stretch, cramp up, fine. But, 2 overs and then you cramp up. So no, I don't think that is the thing. Yes, like I said, once the qualification is done, then you can look at, trying all the other experiments. But now this is only the one match. I think there seems to be a presumption that having won against Pakistan, all the other matches are going to be easy. No, this is the 2020 format. Things can go wrong in an over, maybe a 6-8 balls, things can go wrong. So win this game and then be in a position to look at, any changes that you want to do, any experiments.
Final word from you, Saibhai, and I want to spend some time talking about the Hong Kong team. I was just reading, most of them, in fact, all of them are semi-professionals. They haven't, they don't play cricket for a living. Some of them are, delivery drivers for food apps in their country. Some of them are still in university. They do private coaching, various other day jobs, then to sustain their cricket. In a way, it's a massive achievement, and you say, no matter what the result of this game, but the players of Hong Kong already are winner, having not being professionals, doing their day jobs, and yet making it this far in the Asia Cup.
That's the great thing about a game of cricket, that you have so many who love the game and who make so many sacrifices. So all these players from Hong Kong or even from UAE, all these associate members who don't have jobs and who play cricket for fun, I think that's a wonderful achievement, and therefore I'm hoping that Hong Kong really come in and do well, because that will encourage more and more people in associate countries to take up to the game. And one thing is that they won't be under pressure like professional cricketers. They won't be under pressure, and so they can actually go and play with abandon, with gay abandon, just really go whether it's batting or bowling or fielding, just have fun. It's a wonderful opportunity for players from Hong Kong to be able to be on the same field with some of the legends of the game. I mean, India has got some of the greatest legends of the game in this particular team. For the Hong Kong team just to be able to, be there, they shouldn't be overawed. They shouldn't be taking autographs before the game. After the game, take autographs, but not before the game. No photos, etc. before the game, because that shows that, that doesn't look good. But enjoy yourself. And I think if Hong Kong do that, we'll be in for a real good game.
Right. Just to add on to, the kind of commitment that these Hong Kong players have, I was reading somewhere that there are about 2 or 3 members in this Hong Kong team that have become father in the last few months. But they haven't had the time to go and see their kid. They've only seen their children via those video calls, because they've been busy playing T20 cricket, preparing for this tournament, so I haven't had a chance to go home. That's the kind of commitment that a certain amount of players in this Hong Kong team has. So that's why they've reached this far, undefeated in the tournament so far. Expect a good contest, and when it's a short format, T20 format, the gap between teams really ends up reducing. So it will be a thriller of a contest. That's what the Indian fans can, or the cricket fans can hope for. Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Oja, thanks so much for taking our time speaking to us. We are coming to you live from Dubai, right from outside the Dubai International Stadium. That's where the action is going to start in a few minutes from now, and I'm going to be heading in there. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
sell, rent on 99acres.com. Co-powered by 2022 Hyundai Kona Electric. In association with Lovely Professional University. Think big. Spotify. Download the music app for free.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where I curate the day's top 7 stories for you. I'm Preeti Chaudhary, and these are the headlines. Ganesh Chaturthi being celebrated at Hubli Eidgah ground after a late-night nod from the Karnataka High Court. Muslim side likely to move Supreme Court against festivities. Hindu side puts up Savarkar posters at the pandal. Five days after being booked, Lingayat Seer accused of raping minor yet to face arrest despite outrage. Netas and Mutt back Lingayat Seer. Massive clamour for justice to Jharkhand minor girl Ankita. Burnt alive by stalker Shahrukh. BJP claims role of Islamist PFI. Child rights body demands addition of POXO section, even though her dying declarations she said she was 19 years old. Delhi LG Vinay Saxena to sue Aam Aadmi Party Neta Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Durgesh Pathak. LG accuses them of levelling false allegations of corruption against him. Aam Aadmi Party accuses the LG of 1,400 crore Khadi scam. Telangana Chief Minister KCR in Bihar meets Nitish Kumar and his deputy Tejashwi Yadav. Two netas discuss politics, open unity ahead of 2024 polls. Says Nitish, most experienced person to lead. More trouble for Jacqueline Fernandez as ED counters her claim. Says she has repeatedly changed her statements and cleared her phone data after Sukesh arrest. Ganesh festivities kick off across the country. Maharashtra steeped in devotional fervour. Celebrities, movie stars, politicians welcome Ganpati Bappa, perform Aarti. All right, viewers, let me get you the latest coming in for the tumultuous political waters where Jharkhand is concerned. Well, the MLAs have moved right now to Chhattisgarh. The latest coming in amidst the political turbulence, resort politics has begun. Jharkhand MLAs from JMM Congress have all been taken to a resort in Raipur in Chhattisgarh. Fearing poaching by BJP, Hemant Soren moved 40 MLAs to Raipur's Mayfair resort. Remember, this comes in midst of uncertainty over Hemant Soren's disqualification as an assembly member due to his alleged role in an illegal mining case. BJP's National Vice President Raman Singh alleged that Bhupesh Baghel is feeding the MLAs with the money of Chhattisgarh. Sharpening the attack, he stated MLAs are trying to convert the state into a den of debauchery. BJP alleges that liquor bottles were found in government vehicles waiting for the MLAs from Jharkhand in Chhattisgarh.
मुख्यमंत्री होते हुए अपनी कंपनियों को खदानों के ठेके दे दिए। इससे बड़ा क्या विवाद हो सकता है? जिससे बड़ी बात क्या हो सकती है? और उसको कहें कि विवाद बनाया जा रहा है, वो उत्तर दें, और जो इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कहा है उसकी बात का उत्तर दें। वो ऑफिस ऑफ प्रॉफिट में आता है। उन्होंने अपने आप को खुद को अबंटन किया, वो कर नहीं सकते। अंततः उनको इस्तीफा देना पड़ेगा और चुनाव में जाना पड़ेगा। अब वो डर के मारे अपने सब विधायकों को साथ जोड़कर बैठ चल रहे हैं कि उनको लग रहा है कि वो इस्तीफा देंगे, सारे विधायक भाग जाएंगे। अभी उनकी पार्टी का अंदरूनी मामला है।
All right, joining me right now is BJP leader, former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh. Raman Singh is joining us live. Raman Sahab, अगर आप ही के जो पार्टी मेंबर्स हैं उन्हीं को कोट किया जाए, आपने भी ये बोला है कि छत्तीसगढ़ जहां पर ये सारे एमएलएस दर्ज हैं रायपुर में, जो झारखंड सरकार की, ये एक अय्याशी का अड्डा बन गया है। क्या मतलब है आपका इससे?
जिस प्रकार मेहमान नवाजी हो रही है और होना चाहिए, स्वागत करना चाहिए, माला से स्वागत करना चाहिए, उनको ठहराने की व्यवस्था करनी चाहिए, मगर जिस प्रकार सरकारी वाहन में लेकर शराब लाद के महंगी कीमती शराब वहाँ पे बांटी जा रही है और मेफेयर के सामने गाड़ी खड़ी है, तो सरकार से मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि सारा ध्यान इन विधायकों के आवभगत में ही होगा और ये उस गाड़ी को जब्त क्यों नहीं किया गया, उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की जो पूरे गाड़ी में शराब भर के लाए थे। 2 बोतल शराब रखने के बाद से पुलिस कार्रवाई करती है, एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट कार्रवाई करती है, मगर एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट खुद अपने गाड़ी में भर कर इस प्रकार शराब ले जाने का काम कर रही है, तो इसको मैं उचित नहीं मानता।
रमन जी, पर देखिए आप कह रहे हैं कि ये एक अय्याशी का अड्डा बन गया है, शराब की बोतलें लाई जा रही हैं, छत्तीसगढ़ में क्या कर रहे हैं। पर देखिए अब बात करते हैं जो महाराष्ट्र में हुआ, वो सारे विधायक जो असम में बैठे हुए थे वहां पर भी शराब की बोतलें देखी गई थी, तो क्या फर्क है? उस वक्त आप लोगों ने तो कुछ नहीं कहा।
नहीं, देखिए जहाँ तक सवाल है महाराष्ट्र में, और महाराष्ट्र में दल का एक बड़ा हिस्सा टूटा और वो अपने से पूरी टीम विधायक को लेकर गए, तो वहाँ कोई खरीद फरोख्त की राजनीति कहीं नहीं हुई, वो अपनी मर्जी से गए थे और अपना पेमेंट सबने किया।
पर रामन साहब, वो जो एलिगेशन है वो तो वही लगाई जा रही है ना कि ये जो विधायक हैं, जैसे जब जो महाराष्ट्र में हुआ, जब एक पूरा टुकड़ा आकर असम में बस गया और वहां पर मैं फिर बोलूंगी शराब की बोतलें दिखाई गई। पर इस वक्त अगर आप देखें, चार्जेस तो आप पे हैं कि हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग हो रही है, इसीलिए छत्तीसगढ़ लेके जा रहा है और ये आप कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, एक संवैधानिक मामला है। चुनाव आयोग ने इनकी गतिविधि को देखते हुए मुख्यमंत्री के सदस्यता, विधानसभा की सदस्य को समाप्त करने का रिकमेंडेशन किया है। गवर्नर साहब को निर्णय लेना है, वो राय ले रहे हैं और जैसे ही विधि विशेषज्ञों से, कानूनविदों से राय आएगा उसके ऊपर आगे कार्रवाई करेंगे। तो एक सामान्य प्रक्रिया है जो चल रहा है, उसका इंतजार करना चाहिए और देखना चाहिए कि गवर्नर का क्या निर्णय आता है।
बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने का रमन सिंह जी। रमन सिंह, former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, saying that there is a party going on right now in Chhattisgarh where all the MLAs from Jharkhand are lodged. Trust India Today to keep a keen eye on all developments and get you the latest. But I want to now, viewers, cut across to the other tragic developing story coming in from Jharkhand, and it concerns Ankita. Well, the latest that is coming in, justice for Jharkhand's Ankita, who was allegedly burnt alive by stalker Shahrukh. The Jharkhand Child Welfare Committee has recommended that the police add the sections under the POCSO Act in the matter. On August 23rd, Shahrukh had allegedly poured petrol on Ankita from outside the window of her room where she was sleeping and set her afire in Jharkhand's Dumka. Now there is clamour that Ankita, who was in the 12th standard, wouldn't have, and there are documents which seem to support it, as per the Child's Welfare Department, saying on her Aadhaar she's much younger than 18 years of age. But having said that, viewers, officially Ankita in her dying declaration has stated very clearly when she was asked that she is 19 years old. So that is the conflict there, because Ankita, when she was questioned, and this is now the dying declaration, this is going to be the main proof of what would be used against Shahrukh, and in this she's saying 19, but having said that, her father maintained she was 16, and on other documents like her Aadhaar, her age is that of a minor. So will the dying declaration be taken into account where Ankita says she's 19 years old, or will other documents be taken into account, and will that, if that happens, will the dying declaration be termed null and void? Well, that's the big question. Trust India Today to keep getting you the very latest.
फैमिली से मिले, वी चेक द डॉक्यूमेंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग, सो क्लैरिटी काफ़ी हमें मिल चुका है. और राइट नाउ आफ्टर गिविंग द रिपोर्ट एंड आफ्टर सबमिशन ऑफ द रिपोर्ट टू द ऑनरेबल कमीशन, वी विल बी एबल टू पुट ऑल द फैक्ट्स विच आर रेलिवेंट फैक्ट्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कमीशन एंड द गवर्नमेंट.
की उम्र थी 16 साल. बयान देते समय या कुछ उस समय जली हुई थी बच्ची, जली हुई अवस्था में, तो जितने लाहौर से या 16 या 17 बोली होगी, पुलिस ने दिया 19 लिख दिया. आधार कार्ड है और जो सर्टिफिकेट है उसी से मान्यता होगा ना, अब लिखने से थोड़ी कुछ होगा.
इस घटना में कड़ी जांच होनी चाहिए और दोषियों को ऐसी सजा होनी चाहिए जिससे ऐसा अपराध करने वाले लोगों की रूह कांपे. और निश्चित रूप से एक सवाल उठ रहा है कि जिसने ऐसा कांड किया है, जो इसका नाम शाहरुख है, उसके सारे रिलेशंस को जांच में लाना ही चाहिए।
All right, viewers, let's take you now to the other story coming in once again from Jharkhand of abject bestiality and brutality, where a tribal woman who was serving as a house help in the house of a BJP leader was brutalized to an extent where she couldn't walk anymore, held captive for years. Take a look at the story.
Every once in a while, there will be a story that will make you question your belief in humanity. This is one. No matter how much one tries, one cannot look away. These visuals not just horrify, these visuals shame humanity. A house help tortured beyond belief, held hostage for years, starved. The Jharkhand police have rescued a 29-year-old tribal woman, Sunita, from Ranchi in this condition. Allegedly tortured for years in captivity by a Bharatiya Janata Party leader, now suspended, BJP's State National Executive member Seema Patra. Videos show the woman emaciated and lying on a bed, recounting details of her treatment. She said Seema Patra locked her in a room for days without food or water, assaulted her regularly, burnt her with hot utensils at various places on her body. Due to continuous thrashing, her health deteriorated. She used to drag herself on the floor as she was unable to walk. She said she was made to lick her urine from the floor and her front teeth were smashed by an iron rod. Inhuman torture by this woman, Seema Patra, herself a BJP leader and wife of former bureaucrat. In midst of building outrage as details emerged of the brutality the victim endured, Seema Patra has been arrested by the cops and suspended from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sunita was rescued many times by Seema Patra's son Ayushman. It was Ayushman and another person known to the family who tipped off the police. But even the cops were ill